What is going on, family? It is not Friday yet. Yep, it's still 11 o'clock. It's still Thursday, so it's probably Friday where some people are. It's probably Sunday. It's probably Tuesday. It's probably something somewhere else in this wonderful world that it is. This is the part of the show where we babble, babble, babble until people get on here. I was just over here chilling in my Discord and just saying hello to some of the folks and seeing what was going on in the Discord, and I was just talking with them, and I was like, guys, I'm kind of like in a weird mood today where I'm like, I really want to record, but I'm still kind of nursing that same headache from the other day, man. I don't know what the hell happened that night or that day or whatever, but I think it was probably some poor sleeping habits and probably a mixture of just probably a lot of shit like being dehydrated as hell. You know what I mean? It's been a stressful week here in America for sure. Don't really want to get into all that kind of stuff because that's just not fun at all. But yeah, just still overall nursing a headache. I have had a good day though. I have had a good day. Had a nice little date night with the wife tonight. So that was nice. Got out and got some nice Mexican food. So yeah, always a big fan. I'm a big fan of really any kind of cuisine that's just good, if that makes sense. If it's like the cream of the crop, no matter what country it's from, I'm interested. But a weird little known fact about me, I don't know if I've shared this really with you guys or not, but this is probably gonna make a single one of you guys just delete me off your channel and off your phones and everything to do with Johnny Foxtrot and period. To let you guys know that I have like the weirdest like little thing about me that I do not like, nor have I ever liked the taste of when I say this I mean all of it, cheese. I don't like cheese at all. The only cheese that I eat is on like pizza, and it has to have toppings. It has to have pepperoni, it has to have sausage, it has to have vegetables, it has to have something. Somebody was talking about this in the chat the other day about pineapple on pizza. My mom does that shit. She's the only one in the family that does. She's the only one that likes it. I don't even think anybody on my wife's side of the family does the pineapple pizza thing. Maybe on her sister's side, but they're like the people who put like, avocado toast and fish in the morning. Like, you know what I mean? Avocado toast with mahi tuna on it for like, a breakfast sandwich. Like I don't do that stuff for breakfast. That's way too much for breakfast. Oh, what is going on? Looks like a lot of people have actually showed up. Oh man, we got Salty Droog in here today. What is going on, my friend? Rana, you are like my newest friend, man. I swear to God, I feel there's, like I said, just looking at the chat today, just chatting with you a little bit last night. I'm just so happy to have you a part of the Foxtrot family and just be here. You've just been a shining light since you've kind of showed up into our group. So I think everybody is very excited to have you on board and as part of our overall group and family. So it is very nice to see you. We are definitely going to probably get into one of your Ray requests today, and I'll leave it up to you which one you would prefer me to do today. If it's completely up to you, we will do whatever one you would like to do, and we will do that one first too. I was thinking about getting into Aaron's request as well. He had a request for, I can't remember what the guy's name, but he's going to know what I'm talking about when I say the disturbed looking guy. But the video looked like he was looked like the lead singer from Disturbed a little bit. So David Flores, how you doing, my friend? Oh, leaving the teddies. I love that. Love always leave the teddies on the comments. I'm trying to get everybody to kind of within every different fan base and fan group to kind of understand kind of what I'm going with that. I'm like, leave a heart for the artist, leave a heart for the artist, leave a teddy for me if you liked the reaction. So I've been kind of doing that. I'm pretty much in all the videos. Some groups are getting on, jumping onto it a lot. Some other ones are just sticking with their normal stuff. So it's all good. Whatever they want to do, it's all good. But I always appreciate seeing the teddies fly in the comments. So I always like seeing those. Salty Droog, like again, that was one nice thing about the idea of going a little later tonight with the stream was that it was going to be better for some other people in other time zones. Yes, Maul. Also, you mentioned the hashtag Johnny's Wrong. That's the new one too. It's, if you'll find it in every description of every video that I do, make sure you hashtag Johnny's Wrong. I'm gonna make a T-shirt and everything for it. It has become like the open-ended joke of how much everybody loves to tell me that I'm like wrong about something, because a lot of times what's funny about it too is people will like tell me I'm wrong, but they like give me so much love and praise on the backside. Like, you know, they'll be like, Johnny, I have to say that you were so wrong about this, blah 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 blah. But for real though, love your reactions. Those are the best. Those ones are the best, where it's like, you're so wrong, bro. Because I'm like, that's the thing, is like, I love that. I'm like, I've always was supposed to be open for interpretation, right? Is like, I'm not right, nor am I wrong. Does that make sense? Like, you know, if there's other things and other things that you take away from that piece of art, then that's awesome. It makes me think about all this stuff we talked about a little bit on the live stream yesterday with like Sophia Izella and just that kind of stuff, because we got into a whole nother thing with Angelina Jordan this morning. So if you guys are on the Discord, you guys have probably already seen a lot of the conversation around that today, but that one just definitely kind of had me heated this morning. I was just very upset with homeboy basically telling me that I was weird because basically I didn't want to sexualize somebody. Like, that I was weird for that. Like, okay, all right, fam. Whatever floats your boat, bro. Whatever floats your boat. Lost Hate, my friend, how are you doing today, sir? Oh, LT's up in here. Johnny, here's your new pizza. Light sauce, fresh mozzarella, Asiago cheese, ham, fresh spinach, and roasted cherry tomatoes will change your life. Oh, man. There's been so many people in my world that have tried to get me on, like, you know, but it doesn't taste like cheese, though. But it doesn't taste like cheese and all that kinds of stuff. I'm like, but I taste it, man. I do. If it's in there, I can't do it. I really can't do it. Like, I got friends for days that will tell you, who have eaten with me, that I've accidentally eaten cheese. I will throw up. You know what I mean? I will, like, instantaneously throw up. I can't stand the smell of it, the taste of it. I can be around it, you know what I mean? But like, if I get too much of a whiff of something, bro, I can't. It's like my one thing. Like, the way that people feel like so strongly about like liver and onions, that's how I feel about cheese. Like, I can't even be around the smell. Like, I can't do it. Ugh. And I know it's so hard for everybody to wrap their brain around, but I've been this way since I was a kid. My mom loves to tell people the story about like, oh, he used to eat cheeseburgers and stuff like that when he was a baby. You know what I mean? When I was a toddler, when I couldn't speak at all. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you don't have like real like opinions like that back then. And I'm like, how much cheese was I really eating, Mom? She was talking about like sprinkling Parmesan on my spaghetti. I was like, that's not the same thing, but you know, it's way better without it. Cosmic, I see you in here, my friend. Always very happy to see you. Oh, always throwing up the teddies. Adiva, am I saying your name better, Adiva? Am I doing a better job of pronouncing that when I do it? I hope so. Do I hate milk too? No, I don't hate milk. I actually love milk. I love ice cream. I'm not lactose intolerant. So that's another thing people think, right? Is I'm a lactose intolerant. I'm not. I can do other dairy stuff. But the easiest way I have found to order my food is to tell them that I'm lactose intolerant. So that way they won't bring me, because I don't like sour cream either. I don't like the taste of sour cream. I can't do tacos with sour cream. I just do everything that people put cheese on. I just take it off. You know what I mean? If it can be removed, that's what I do. Burgers, tacos, all that stuff. Like I said, I do eat pizza, you know, but it has to. I can't eat just plain cheese pizza. And you know, it's funny because like almost everybody in my world has a moment from time to time where they'll be like, oh, this blah 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 blah, and then like, oh, that's right, you don't like cheese. Like every single person, no matter how long it's been. I give my mom hell sometimes because every once in a while she'll forget. You know what I mean? And my mom's, you know, been cooking food for me, especially for my childhood. You know what I mean? Like it was definitely rough for her back then. She always had to have the one hamburger off to the side with no cheese, just for Josh. You know what I mean? Just for Johnny, right over there. Salty Drew. I said hi to you already. Steve Herman, almost missed you, saw Maul. Steve, you've been very active on everything as well. Always appreciate just nachos or just chips. So when it comes to nachos, I can do the fake stuff. For some reason, it's really weird, actually. It is, it's one of those things that, like, when I go to, like, a baseball game or, like, you know, a sports event or, like, any kind of stadium, and they give you, like, the fake stuff out of the thing with some jalapenos, I'll put, like, a little cheese on it. Like, I'll dip it. Like a little dip. I don't like it when they pour it on top. I'll, like, a little dip, throw a jalapeno on there. I'll eat it that way. But as soon as the cheese gets too cold, I can't do it. For some reason, when it's hot, I can do it. It's not real. It's fake. But that's the only kind of fake cheese I can do either. I can't do any other Cheese Whiz, any fake fondue stuff. I can't. I don't like it for whatever reason. Nachos have been a thing. Don't know why. And I love the smell of grilled cheese. Don't like the taste of it, but I love the smell when people's making it. I'm making it for my kid all day. I make it for anybody all day. I actually do. I can cook and prepare that because for some reason I like the smell of that. It's all good, bro. I hate sushi, and as a chef, I get hell for that. Oh, Salty Drew, you are a chef. That's awesome, man. One of my best friends, he's also a chef. He actually works at one of those winery type deals where he's like the head chef for like their like food pairings and stuff like that. So yeah, he got basically kind of like his dream job after like, you know, hustling for that for the longest time. So I've been very excited and happy for him. That's my buddy who lives up in Oregon that I talk about from time to time, where I keep saying I'm going to go out there to see Freeze the Fall in Vancouver, and I'm going to crash at my homeboy's house, you know, on the way over there. I'll fly into Portland, and then on my way up to Canada to go see Freeze the Fall in a concert one day or something like that. Damn you guys, now I'm hungry. I had an excellent dinner. That's what I'm saying. I had some great Mexican food. My wife thought when she met me that she was going to be like signing herself up for like, you know, having a partner to eat like all those little cheese dishes and stuff with. And she was like, you know, that was like the one thing that was the hardest thing for me to get over with you was I couldn't share my food with you. And I was like, yep, we're just going to have to learn how to order different things that way. So we got it down pretty good to a science now. I just think that she doesn't eat as much cheese as she wants to because we share so much more now. So she doesn't eat probably as much as she would probably like. But she takes the full advantage of it anytime we go with anybody else. Like, hey, you like cheese dip? She's like, all right, bet we're getting some. Crawdads was my Navy days. Ooh, I love me some seafood for sure. Food chat. Weird question. What are your hobbies outside of music? I'm like a comic Star Wars nerd, also an understudy sous chef. Oh, that's awesome too, man. That's great for you, Wes. Bro, that's awesome, man. I have a lot of friends that have worked in the culinary arts, so I have a lot of like, you know, love and respect for the people that do stuff like that and work in that industry. I've been around a lot of industries, especially in America for sure. So I have friends from all kinds of walks of backgrounds and stuff like that. So I'm a little bit familiar with most stuff out there. But to answer your question, sir, in terms of like my hobbies, I do like to play video games. Music is probably obviously I think my biggest hobby. That's why, you know, when I told my wife that I wanted to start this YouTube channel, she was like, I'm surprised you didn't already have one. So what I do now is kind of what I have always done, if that makes sense. Now I just have more of an outlet and a focus to kind of focus it on. And when I came into this whole YouTube thing, I feel like I had like one idea of what I thought this was going to be, and it's not been anything like that. And I've talked about this a few times where this is something that, even though it's not anything I thought it was going to be, it's everything that I wanted it to be, if that makes sense. Like I've already have started some of the things that like I was overall like longing for. Like I talked a lot about like the overall community, right? Like I even made a mention in my Discord earlier about like just like reading the messages and seeing how people like interact with one another, and how like when one more person gets added to that group, like how they're just like so everybody's so welcoming. Does that make sense? Like this is like exactly the kind of like thing that I wanted to create and start. So I'm just so very blessed to see any of that stuff like this already happening in the world. But I still haven't really answered your question too much. But hobbies, I'm a big sports guy. I don't watch as much sports as I used to, but when I was a kid, teenager, I have always really loved playing sports. I did not like basically have a time in a of the year that I was not either playing baseball, basketball, soccer. I played hockey. You know, I got into a little bit of literally everything when it came to like athletics, and I've always loved playing and being and pick up basketball. Go play some flag football. I'm your guy, man. Somebody call me. I'll be there for sure. I love that kind of stuff. I live for that. That's probably the thing that like when people think about like, you know, how high school was your best days and all that kinds of stuff. What I miss about my childhood was I missed the organized sports. I missed all that stuff. I'm like, you know, for the last 10 years of my life, I was in a job where I had to travel like literally constantly, literally on the road all the time, hotel rooms, 300 nights a year type shit. So there was no way I could join any kind of rec league sports thing. You know what I mean? I was never home. There was no time, no continuity for that. But now my life is a little bit different. Now I have the opportunity, so I'm definitely looking forward to like the idea of getting into some of that stuff now, because I do miss that stuff a lot. You mentioned Star Wars, huge Star Wars buff. If any of you have ever caught, I got like the Empire tattoo on my wrist, and I also have a Stormtrooper on my leg. I love Star Wars. I have been a big fan of the overall movies, series, a lot of the spin-offs, really just all of it. So I'm a big movie guy. I love like movie series, like TV series as well. Again, when it comes to like what I talked about when I talk about music and getting into actual music, I look for the real, right? Like there's a lot of other things that I like that are just maybe a little more surface level, maybe a little more poppy. There's all kinds of different reasons. But the things that I'm most drawn to and the things that are going to keep me coming back time after time and the things that I'm just going to really love and stick with are the things where I find that real, right? So I am a big fan of like a lot of like the true crime documentary type of renditions of things. And there's a whole conversation we could have about whether that's even right or wrong to even highlight some of those characters in terms of those people and those events and stuff like that. So I understand that side of the conversation as well. But I find it so fascinating. I find the idea of like just like the study of human psychology extremely fascinating as well. So just like why people do and think the way that they think and all those kinds of things just are very intriguing to me. So I've always been really drawn to like detective type stuff and really anything that has to do with like exploring that kind of stuff. Hannibal Lecter, perfect example. I love horror movies. Hannibal Lecter mixes perfect into the idea of that horror and psychology. So that is my bag 1000%. So like when I talk about Freeze the Fall and VHS and like their new horror based song, movie, music video type thing, like that is like my music meeting my taste in movies and stuff like that kind of all meeting together. So that is why I got so excited about that song. That's why I'm still so excited about that song, is because it's like some of the things that I love in like my like outside of just music kind of coming together as well. So sports, movies, I'm like I said, like I'm all over the place with that too, but I really like thought pieces when it comes to movies and TV shows, like things that really get you thinking. That like and I've watched almost every rendition of like a thriller horror type of deal that there is. So that's kind of my run too. Like when I love stand-up comedy. That's another thing I probably should have brought up very, very fast. I love stand-up comedy. I thought about doing like reactions to stand-up, but I don't know how people do stuff like that. I don't even know what that kind of format would look like. But I absolutely love stand-up. I've been a fan of stand-up my entire life. I actually considered even trying to do it because one of my buddies, I've been encouraging him for a long time to go be a stand-up, because I think that he has that kind of personality and he writes like I think funny material, and I think that he's an entertaining person. And I told him that I would go to an open mic with him if he did it. You know what I mean? But then I started a YouTube channel, so I kind of took my plunge. Does that make sense? I took the plunge I was supposed to take. Now he got to take his plunge. You know what I mean? All right. Let me get back into some of this chat. I feel like a lot's happened since then. Because I kind of answered this question. I grew up in Washington State, 5 minutes from the ocean. Beautiful, man. That's beautiful area. I love that part of the country. I would totally move to the West Coast, almost anywhere on the West Coast. I loved, especially NorCal. I loved NorCal. I loved Oregon. I loved Washington. It's a lot different of a world out there compared to over here on the East Coast. Like just the environment, the people, everything about it, like this is a lot different. And that's the thing is like, America, as much as we have so much similarities with a lot of things, like just even the environment of like where you go and what things look like, there's just so much different, I think, on the West Coast compared to here. Let's see. I wish my wife and I liked different stuff. My wife and I like different stuff. Okay, so basically, I think what I'm getting at is that you and your wife just have different tastes. Me and my wife the same, man. That's Dead Poet Society, right? I got them on my wall. You know, they are one of my favorite bands that I have been a fan of for the last handful of years now. But that at the end of the day, I kind of consider that to be my wife's band. Does that make sense? Like that's like her number one. Like she loves them. And so I try to let her have that fandom because she doesn't have a lot of that fandom. Does that make sense? So I put on my Patreon the other day a post of like some video I did at the last show that I got from them. I just kind of just moving around the concert. I was all over the place trying to get some good recording of Dead Poet, but I could not, unfortunately, get as good of footage as I wanted to get. But I put on my Patreon that I was very excited to go to that show, that upcoming show, to go see them because I feel like they're just a great experience. But outside of like some similar tastes in music and movies, like we have completely different tastes. We have some things that align, but she don't like nothing really in the horror stuff. You know what I mean? But one of the things that I have always like tried to encourage people to do, because like, you know, it's especially within my own relationship, is I don't need you to love it like I do. Just appreciate and love that I love it. Does that make sense? Like my wife gets me all the coolest horror story movie stuff, like all the time. She don't like any of it, but she gets me and finds stuff for me and shows me. She'll see a new movie that's getting ready to come out, and she'll go, oh, like, you know, I got to send it to him so that way he has it, right? You know, so doing all that kinds of stuff, like that is still showing that you like that I like it. Does that make sense? And I'm like, you know, so that's where I feel like when you have those difference of taste, I think it's a good thing. But you also got to find the things that are also like, you know, that you do get, you know, you do find in common. So it can be a little difficult when you don't have those kinds of things, but you got to try to find something. And trying something new is always a great way to try to find some, you know, a new thing to bond over. It's a new experience for both of you. Those I find work really well because there's no pressure on either one of you. It's a new situation for both. So always recommend that if you ever need to, like, you know, find something new to do with a friend or something like that. Maybe things are getting a little stale with your friendship. Try a new experience for both people, both parties involved. That tends to work out pretty well. What's your flavor in gaming? Honestly, I'm pretty one-sided now. I used to be into a lot more gaming than I used to be, than I am now. Now I'm more or less 110% on my channel, like all day, every day. Something to do with that somehow, some way. So my video game time has definitely dramatically gone down, but definitely playing the new Call of Duty. And I play a lot of Fortnite with my son. So he's got me on the Fortnite. So I'm kind of a little addicted to it when I feel like playing Battle Royale. But I started off in the Call of Duty Halo days. I've gotten into like Assassin's Creed and some other RPG type games. I never got into anything that really like would suck up your entire life, like World of Warcraft or something like that. My roommate in tech school in the military really showed me what that game can do to people very easily. Because there's always something to do. There's always another quest to go on, and there's never enough time to do it all. You know what I mean? And I used to watch that man sleep for 2 hours a day, and he used to ask me to bring him food back from the chow hall so he didn't have to leave. You know what I mean? I know what that kind of stuff looks like, but God bless anybody that plays World of Warcraft or any game like that, because I'm like, I know those games are fun, and I know they're addictive as hell. But, you know, don't let it affect your personal relationships. That's rule number one, right? Is like, don't ever do something too much to the point where it's affecting your personal relationships. I have assumed that he has seen Pow with Dead Poets. Yes, I have. I actually did watch. I watched it on a live stream, actually, and commented on that. Yes, very cool. Loved that. It came at the absolute perfect time, too, because I was in some hot water with the Warning Army about some Pow comments at the time. They really don't like it when I say certain things about those ladies. Oh, my God, man. I feel like I've been a pretty honest and reasonable supporter of the Warning Army. So But you can't please everybody. You can't please everybody, but that's okay. They're always gonna get a little excited. They're always gonna get a little excited. Let me see. I feel like I'm missing some more. I see something about Freeze the Fall in here. I'm not seeing any exclamation points, so that's a good thing. Well, good and bad thing, I guess. The Witcher 4. Oh man, I do like The Witcher. The Witcher is a good gaming series. The show was great too. I haven't watched it with the new guy. I really liked the original cast, man. I haven't watched anything with the new dude. I don't even know if it's even out yet. God of War, another great game. Racing game, I've been there too, man. I like I said, I was a big gamer, so I played a little bit of everything for the longest time. It's just now my time is so much more limited, and I pretty much stick to either Call of Duty or Fortnite. So it's whether I'm wanting to play multiplayer, shoot 'em up stuff, or Battle Royale. I just checked your bandmate list. You haven't done anything from their first 10 years. Any suggestion? Oh my good God. I didn't do anything from their first 10 years? Wow. I can't believe I haven't hit nothing from that time frame. That's wild. Go Lions. Oh, right. I went to a Lions game. I watched them beat the Packers, actually, in their own stadium a couple years ago. Like I said, I lived in Detroit, essentially, for a couple of years. I love that city, man. I love Detroit. I love Michigan in general. I spent the first 11 years of my life out at sea on a 40-foot yacht. Not a lot of opportunities for organized sports. Yes, definitely not, but I bet you know a lot about boating, a lot about the water and sea in general, and probably could teach me things for days about just the animals out there and all of that. I'm sure you could probably teach me a ton of stuff. This was a last-minute decision, Maniac. We're not sure if we're doing any reactions tonight, mate, Pixie. Yeah, I'm not sure how many reactions I'm going to get to this evening, but I did promise Rana that I probably was going to get to hers, and I'm definitely going to honor that and get to that. And I think I'm going to get Aaron's if Aaron is on here. I don't know if he's on here. He might be gaming tonight, so he might not be on here tonight. So we might hold off on Aaron's. I also consider myself a connoisseur of stand-up. Yes, I love me some stand-up. I'm trying to think of, honestly, there's so many of them right now that are so good in terms of stand-up. Yeah, but there's I always love stand-up comedy. Yeah, another original art form that I think that, again, like music, there's not really supposed to be borders and boundaries. The idea is to make people laugh, and I think most people are trying to do that. And if you are not trying to make people laugh, I'm probably just not watching your stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably just honestly not watching it. I watch stand-up comedy reactions. Hey, yeah, you're gonna have to definitely let me know like what the format or like what people do on that is. I don't think I've ever really watched something like that, but I think I've heard of people doing it. Yeah, I've been following Freeze the Fall a bit. I just sit here that VHS came out until Johnny posted the link. I hadn't subbed with them yet, but I fixed it after VHS came out. That's awesome, Brian. Always want to spread the love and support for Freeze the Fall. Somebody once upon a time told me that, hey, you didn't realize it, but you're a warning channel now. And I was like, I think that I'm officially a Freeze the Fall channel for sure. I like to represent them and give them as much love and praise as I possibly can, all day, every day. Absolutely. Love their band. Love that band. Love that music. Their music. I could talk. Love that band. Love their music. Love their team. Wish that they were the best for them. Let's see. Pixie, do you got an Insta? I could send you a link to them. 2 weeks ago, very lost. Saw Power of Dead Poets. Bro, do you. Don't ever worry about what others think. Indeed. I appreciate that, man. I trust Henry Cavill as a legend. Yes, facts. The Warning Army loves you, Johnny. I appreciate that, man. Like, there's so many of you guys out there, and like I said, it's hard sometimes when, like, that one or two comments, like, it just rubs you the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? But there's so many of you guys that provide so much positivity on my channel, and I can't thank you guys enough for all the love and support you guys have given me throughout this journey. Maul was asking yesterday about, like, have I ever heard of Bridge City Sinners, I think is their name. And I was like, yeah, I actually did a reaction to them very, very early in my YouTube career. And she was like, oh, really? I can't find it. And I was like, let me send you the link. I can't promise that the quality is the greatest. But the way I've talked about this a few times, the way I look at it is like every reaction I do, when I look back at it, I think to myself, I could do that 10 times better today. And I try to carry that in every single day with every reaction that I do, as I try to elevate and try to not be stagnant. I worry so much that people are going to think that I'm like, going at this too nonchalantly. Does that make sense? When I'm really stressing myself out, probably more than I should, trying to make sure that I'm providing good reactions and good content and entertainment for everybody. DJ, what's going on, my friend? You just reminded everybody to give this a like. I appreciate you for doing that, my friend. It does definitely help a lot. If you're looking for some new music, try Breathe by Liliac. Violin, flute, and kick-ass music. Yes, I've actually been really liking Liliac quite a bit. I know there's like a little bit of like I don't want to say love-hate relationship between the Warning Army about them. It's not really about that. I think it's more about just like their overall sound. I think it has to do probably with the way that they write music and the way that Melody's voice sounds. But I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the way her voice sounds. I like it. So I think that with everything, it's always, some things are acquired taste, and I feel like she kind of falls in that category where I can see where some people wouldn't like it, but for someone like myself, I like singers that sound like that. So I like people that sound unique and different. I talked about that a lot when it comes to just my taste in like pop punk music, right? Punk music is a home, and I think the same thing with like idea of rock music is there is a home for every singer, no matter how good you are. You know what I mean? Like there's great singers, and then there's singers that aren't that good, but you can still make great music. You know what I mean? Like, I can name bands for days that don't have the greatest vocalists, but I still really love their music, so I don't discriminate that way. I love great vocalists, and I also love the ones that weren't really born singers, but they can't help but sing. You know what I mean? I just love the idea of that. All right, so I think I'm a little bit caught up on the chat, and Rana, if you are still in here, we are going to go ahead and get into one of your Ray requests, and if you would like, it depends on which one you would like to do, but we will do whatever one you want. If not, I will go with the first one you give me, and we will check that out. Let me try to see if I think I already got this one pulled up in a playlist. I should have it already saved. Just gotta find it. Oh, there it is. Genesis. Okay, I totally missed it. All right, we'll start with Genesis. That is the first one I had in the list. So we're going to go ahead and do that one first.
They say...
All right, I need to make sure that this is all set up the way that it should be. Okay. Okay, there we go. That's working now. All right, then we will get this set up. Capture. Running up that hill. Yeah, I got that running up that hill still on here. My wife was very excited with that I did that one last night. She's like, I told you it was catchy. I've been singing it all day. All right. All right, so we are going to be getting into our request here from Rana, our good friend Rana, to check out another song from Ray, and we are going to be checking out the song Genesis. And I'm very excited to do this because this is going to be my first official music video from her. The only thing that I have heard from Ray thus far was that live performance. So I'm very excited to see like what she does in the overall music video atmosphere and what this is going to sound like. So I've been kind of warned that her taste is a little all over the place, so I like that in an artist. So let's go ahead and check it out.
They say the 20s are the...
And I better put it on the right thing before we do that. technical difficulties, guys. We should be good to go.
Best years of
Nope. No, we're not. I do this every time, I swear. Every single time.
your life, but I seem to be spending my... They say the 20s are the best years of your life, but I seem to be spending mine missing sunsets, cause I'm busy on my phone observing everyone else, how I compare and obsess, just me, my phone, and these walls. And I've been sober for some months, but I can feel the demons waiting on my downfall. Since I'm so ugly and irrelevant, I've been losing friends as if I'm trying to get rid of them. I googled why I'm so desperate for validation and sedatives, huh?
Oh my god, this is like already like super heavy. Where I thought that she was kind of like talking in the beginning, like before she was about to, you know, like the way that a lot of times like somebody like, especially like a rapper, right, might say something in the beginning and then they'll like get into like singing or starting the thing. When I thought that she was just talking, she was like, oh, we're just gonna keep going. We're just gonna keep going and keep talking. And I was like, oh, this is jumping straight into it. Straight into it.
Why I'm so desperate for validation and sedatives, huh? Calling men who don't give a about me. And when my mother called, I pretend I'm busy. I'm trying to end up anywhere except from where I've been. Cutting clothes, bed bound, amphetamine. And this devil on my shoulder, man, I'm trying to shake him off. My ex is on my timeline, it's as if he's showing off. My self-esteem is face-tuned and ring lights. My ego is conquering new heights. I think I need some. Do you need some? Don't we all need some? I think I need some. I lied, I don't think I know. I need some. I need some light, sweet sunshine to feel alright. Oh, she is a little sinner in the mirror.
Oh boy, that was like a smack in the face too, man. Oh boy, this was like such a great intro to this song, because like it's like so it pulls you in a little bit, right? It like pulls you in and takes you on this journey where you're like watching her going through like almost like this like depression state of like all the realization of like all the negative things, and she's talking about all the negative things in her life, right? So she's going through like all of that right now, and at the same time of doing that, like you're seeing the visual of like, you know, I'm talking about all the negative things, but meanwhile, I still gotta hop on my ring light, and I still gotta like be a star, and I still gotta like sell this record, and I still gotta like, you're gonna jump, you know what I mean? And then it like beat change, energy change, and like complete change of the visual. That I really like the way that they did that. Like it incredibly artistic.
I don't think I know. I need some. I need some light, sweet sunshine to feel alright. Oh, she is a little sinner in the mirror. The devil works hard like my liver. I don't wanna be alive, I don't wanna die. Fist full of pills, you're a nobody. At the door again, you know he'll beat the door down till you let him in the room. Since you already acquainted, you skip the foreplay, grips you at the neck as you prepare to be screwed. You try to muster a flair to tell.
Oh my god! Like all I could think about, guys, and like I hate to compare artists here, but this is like I'm saying this in a positive way, right? I'm saying this in all the most respected ways. She reminds me of like what I love about Ren. Like that's what she is. You know what I'm saying? Like she's like saying and talking about all the same stuff, but in a different way, and like a badass version, like this R&B, like hip hoppy, like kind of like badassery. Like oh my god, I can't even tell you what's kind of running through my veins right now, like listening to her, because she is talking like all that fucking shit about like my shit, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain it. Like it's like it's hard to have like a banger for depression, but I feel like that's what she's doing here.
Somebody is sinking, but anxiety is an index finger pressed to your lips. A whiskey bottle, it whispers, since you're already bitter. A cocktail fit for a quitter. Come here and give me a kiss. I see a sad little sinner. on pictures to make my waist look slimmer, make my ass look bigger so that I'm someone you aspire to. Let me in your algorithm, please. I know I'll only be in.
Okay. She was just talking about here about, like, you know, I gotta get my waist slimmer, I gotta get my ass bigger, so that way, like, you'll be somebody that you want to, like, aspire to be, right? Like, I just got done this morning or yesterday talking about Angelina Jordan and how much I didn't want to see her become that person, right? And what happened? Now we're here talking about Ray, talking about what happens to those people when it's that easy for them to be like, yo, you should just give into that sexuality real quick. And what happens? She's over here, she's like talking about like all the substance abuse that she has to like basically like withstand just to basically survive. Does that make sense? Like, she's over here talking about how the devil works hard, but like, and works harder. I think she said like harder than my liver. Like, my liver has to work like double time because of how much I'm drinking to basically just get by with my days. Like, fistful of pills just to get by, And people say that I'm crazy for like worrying about people like Angelina Jordan and what's going to happen to them. I'm crazy because like I said, we've never seen it ever happen to any other star, female star, right? I mean, it's happening to like a few guys in the last 10 years. Watch some documentaries about that. It's happening to a lot of people.
And if I'm someone you would like, follow, share, and subscribe to. If you're thirsty like me, make some pity with some self-hate. Stir it up, then add 5 ounces of rosé. It's how I make the glass half empty and drink it down. Close words and the insecurities. Here lies a sorry little soul. She doesn't even know what to pray for. Still just a hot broke bitch. I traded the back at the nightclub I did for the bathroom floor. I wish I could call my ex. He would know just what to say. He don't say nothing at all now. I didn't write. The only thing I relied on him to do is stay declining my calls now. See a sad little sinner in the mirror. The devil works hard, break my liver. Don't wanna be alive, I don't wanna die. A fistful of pills and rivers in my eyes. Look, do you good in the sky? Hear my cry, hear my cry. It's too dark to see. Let there be light, let there be light. Little girls that have no self-esteem. A little boy without a father tries to find him in the streets. The girl I used to walk to school with took her life, now rest in peace. Fake democracy, killing overseas, killing ourselves. Suicide, government lies, discrimination, hating ourselves. Why hope, why keep going, why try, why? Genesis 1 verse 3. I'll dry my eyes. The only thing which darkness cannot coexist is the light. She's like little sinner in the mirror. The devil works hard, break my liver. I don't wanna die. Fistful of pills and rivers in my eyes. It's too hard. Hear my cry, do you hear my cry? It's too dark to see. Let there be light, let there be light. I want that light, Lord. Oh, let there be on. Oh, let there be on. Oh, that light. See.
You gotta spin it over to like to the happy side of it, right? Like, we just got done spending the last 5 minutes talking about how all this is basically killing me, but you know, we still gotta put on the smile, still gotta put on the happy tune because it's what the people want to hear.
I want that light in my house. I want that light in my car. I want that light in my pain. I want that light when it's dark, 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 dark. Oh, no, let there be. Oh, let there be. Oh, that light. No, 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 let there be light. For all the fathers and the teachers. For all the builders and the cleaners. Oh, for all the farmers and the chefs and the train drivers, yes, the nurses and the doctors. God bless NHS. Let the pay rise, let the pay rise. Oh, let there be light, light, light. For all those overworked and underpaid and dreams are somewhere out of sight. Let there be light. Single mothers all alone.
what I'm talking about.
I think this is definitely what you guys meant with, like, it can go from one version of a song to like a whole different, like, you know, now we're talking like swing music, jazz bar, like complete opposite of what we just listened to.
Lord, don't we all need a little? See, I want that light in my house. I want that light in my car. I want that light in my dreams. So baby, light up the darkest, light up the dark, Lord. Let there be light,
Oh my God, that was wild. What a wild adventure that was. That truly was a extremely wild adventure. We went from like one whole talking point to a whole nother talking point in the same video. Like, I don't even know what to even say about that whole like jazz rendition stuff at the end. Like, even that was fire, but like I'm so caught up on the first one, man. I don't think that's part of Genesis. I wouldn't imagine. I would imagine that's probably a different song that we just threw in there. But if it's all part of the whole thing, like, I don't care. Hold on. That was the other thing. I gotta go put it in a playlist right now because I really can't forget. I'm posting this one on Instagram too later. Don't you worry. Between you, you might have struck some real gold here, my friend, with getting me on this Ray stuff, because this is my bag. This is my bag. That everything about what she did. Okay, maybe it says Genesis Part 2. Maybe that's what that part is. Yeah, for sure. It's in there. Okay, so I don't even know what else I could really say. More I could say about that, other than the fact that I love that so much. It reminded me of like I said, guys, it got me fucking amped. There was so much happening in it throughout the entire video that like there was like so much artistic like just like expression in this entire thing. There was like orchestrated like full-on ensembles, and like they had like, you know, choreographed dances in front of like moving pictures of like the world like coming catastrophic in front of a movie theater, like of people like laughing and watching it. So much messaging like just through and through this entire video. I'd have to probably like go like scene by scene and really like break down like what I thought each individual scene was like representing, but I think overall, I think it just kind of tied into like everything that I love from an artist who writes like this. Where like you are giving us like the real, like from your diary, like these are those burners, you know what I mean? These are those ones that like you tuck away and you don't share it with everybody until you write it down and put it in a record. Like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like she's talking about like history with like past relationships and like how she like is dealing with like, you know, just like the fame, the pressure, music, all of it together. I've already kind of gotten a little bit of a history lesson about how like her record label, I guess, was really terrible. And I would imagine she was probably signed to, I don't know, but maybe Universal, Sony, something of those affiliations, or a label that was somewhat like it, and that she is now independent, and good for her. Good for her. That what made me even much more on the wagon to support an artist like Ray. Because as soon as I heard that, like, you know, she left her label and she's independent and she is not going back, and like, you know, that's what she's doing, this is exactly the kind of artist that I wanted to support. Is the kind of people that like they went into it, they tried it, they saw it, and they're like, this whole thing is a cesspool of nonsense. You know what I mean? And like, they got to get out of it. Like, I think it really depends on, for each individual person, what do you want? What do you want out of your music? What do you want out of your career? And record labels will help you get those things. They will, depending on what you want. But everybody's got to make their own decisions, but I love the artists that try to stay more on the independent side. Just because we're in a position now of a day and age where it's easier than it's ever been to be able to do that. So I like to support it where I can. And like somebody, like when they said, like when you're of the caliber of this talent and you have this ability, like this is like only I said, only the second video I've seen from Ray, but I knew from the first one I was like, this artist is something special and different, and this only just solidified that tenfold in my mind. Does that make sense? Like tenfold in my mind, this was like exactly what I thought she was going to be, but even more than that. Does that make sense? Like, you know, I did not expect this so much heat in one record. Like the music video, fire. Every aspect of it, fire. The song itself, every aspect of it, fire. Every part of it. I really can't say much more other than the fact that this is like so fantastic. So fantastic. Thank you so much for requesting it. I hope this was a good reaction, and I hope that you liked it. I hope you appreciated it. I hope that you got what you wanted out of this reaction, because I love this a lot. I did. I'm going to go ahead and check the chat now, because, whoa, man, Haley's in here again. What is going on, friend? Glad you enjoyed. I thought you'd appreciate the depth and artistry. Yes, absolutely. Oh, my good God. Like I said, you might be another one. You might be on there with Aaron. You know what I mean? Aaron's on a good track right now where he's ticking pretty good about, like, you know, he's finding the ones where he's like, oh, Johnny gonna like that. Johnny gonna like that. Johnny gonna like that. Like, one after the other. Like, this is pretty good for, like, that first one that you picked, like, for it to be, like, this much of a love. Does that make sense? Like, where I was like, yeah, you got me in hard now. I am sold. I am sold. Oh, Salty Dude, I appreciate you, man. Looks like we are going to get into something from you then. How about something light to cleanse the palate? Can we do one of the old school Chinchilla songs? Element. For any of you who have not heard the official announcement, Women Who Rock is really any woman who's badass. So we got a lot of women that fall in that category on this channel. So Chinchilla is another one of those artists, much like Ray. Ray's a Women Who Rock category now too. You know what I mean? She falls into the independent artist, and she falls into the Women Who Rock category as well. So we're going to see a lot more, I think, from Ray. Women by John, one of the greatest songs in my opinion. Yes, I love that as well. Holy shit, I didn't even notice Haley's Tusk. The song to Sean. John actually finally came to terms and found happiness. Let's see. The Warning are well protected and have a great support system with them. Haley, you have been showing up a few times now, and I believe that there was probably a time, once upon a time, a long time ago. It seems like a long time ago that I probably promised you a reaction. I think I did, and I don't think I ever did it. I did do a Haley Reinhart song with the Beatles, did I not, last week? So, I don't know. You'll have to let me know. Did I do one for you? Because I think I promised you one that I never did, and I feel terrible about that when I do that to people. So if I did promise you to check out a song, I will do it tonight, right after we check out this Elements song, because we're going to do that right now. Chinchilla Elements. I want to make sure I reply to this. I'm probably pretty bad. Oh, no, I can't even do it. I can't even do it. But yes, I'm going to say again, Salty Drew, thank you so much for your request and your donation. And we're about to check out this Chinchilla Elements song. Are we doing the lyric video? Is that what it is? Looks like a lyric video. Let me pull this window capture back up. So is it this first one, this lyric video? Because it doesn't look like there's another version. It's all fingers, high run. I didn't know if they had maybe like a live version that you're looking for. Not the lyric. Oh well. What'd you say? Let's get it. This song is dope as fuck. I'm a super fan of Haley, just now getting extra shows. Yeah, that's the right lyric video. Okay, bet. All right, let's go. Let us do it. I do love me some Chinchilla, for sure. So let us get into Chinchilla and check out her song, Elements, the official lyric video. shit. Did she make that hat too?
Fire, devil, moon, chinchilla. Queen, joker, boss, and sinner. She fire, she water, she nothing, she air. She know where to go or to where. She got every color of hair. Turn you to stone in a stare.
Oh my God, Salty Drew, you were not lying, bro. You were not lying, because you've been telling me for a minute that this song was fire and it doesn't get enough love, and I can see why, man. I am feeling her vibe and energy in this song. This is like the most unique thing I've heard from her so far for sure, and this is fire. I love this version of Chinchilla, of what she's doing here with this hat and the way her hair is. It doesn't look anything like what I've known of her, and I love it. I love it. I knew she was gonna be the kind of person that, like, over the years she would look in a completely different way that you would, like, not even recognize her. Like I said, like, now with the brown hair and or it's like, I think it's like more brown and stuff. Like I don't even recognize her, and like I'm feeling this overall aesthetic.
Queen, joker, boss, and sinner. She fire, she water, she nothing, she air. She know where to go or to where. She got every color of hair. Turn you to stone in a stare. You made a point when you cared, and now she got diamonds and nails. Sat on a throne for a chair, virtual billionaire. She can dress it up in the best attire. Drinking from a cup made of glass and wire. Friend or foe, she can smell a liar.
Oh my God, man! Like, every step, like, of the song, she is like taking it up a notch, like with that beat, with that dum 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 in the background. Hard, bro, hard. The goosebumps, the hairs are sticking up. This is hard.
Drinking from a cup made of glass and wire. Friend or foe, she can smell a liar. Will you raise me gold? I'll raise you sapphire. Fire, devil, moon, chinchilla. Queen, joker, boss, and sinner. Where my girl? Heaven city, city, city from the get-go. We're a million times better off a soul. We can take 'em, take 'em, take 'em, take 'em down. Well, who can break your heart, boy? I know who. Educated, smart boy, I know who. Lady of her art, boy, ma'am, to you. Been there from the start, boy, through and through.
I really like that line. I don't even remember what she said, but she said, "Lady of the something."
Boy, through and through. Lady of her art, boy, ma'am, to you.
Lady of her art, boy, ma'am, to you. That's fire.
Been there from the start, boy, through and through. She confident, now don't forget it. She'll start a storm, political medic. That is a blessing, but I wouldn't dwell. Will you raise me heaven? I'll raise you hell. Fire, devil, moon, chinchilla.
See, right there, another example again. Proper way of you owning your own sexuality. Somebody got on me about that too. Like, don't tell women how to own their sexuality, Johnny. I'm not telling women how to own their sexuality. What I'm saying is I worry about other people telling women how to own their sexuality. It's up to that woman to own their own sexuality, not for us to tell them how to do it. That's my problem. What she just did was that's owning your own sexuality. She said that ass, but you know, she's calling it out. She's like, yo, it's a blessing, but don't you dwell on it. Don't dwell on it. That's you owning your own sexuality. That's none of us telling Chinchilla how to do that.
Queen, joker, boss, and sinner. Where my girl? Heaven city, city, city from the get-go. We're a million times better off a soul. We can take 'em, take 'em, take 'em, take 'em down. She won't settle if you know what she wants. Fly to Paris for a nice restaurant. Then get rowdy with a cola and rum. Nike Eddie, that's a Louis Vuitton. Well, call her the Dr. Cool. you give me something, I give you a fucking eclipse. Give you a fucking Queen, boss, and sinner.
Oh my God, baby. Oh my God.
Every city from the get-go. We're a million times better off a solo. We can take 'em down. Where my girls? Every city from the get-go. We can take 'em, there ain't no such thing as macho. We can take 'em down.
Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Why did I not listen to you, dude? Why did I not listen? I should have listened. I should have listened, man. I should have. I really should have. You know, the problem is like, you know, there's again, you guys have always been so wonderful and so patient with me. You guys aren't demanding. You guys aren't rude. You know, you guys have always been great. And, you know, my man Salty Droog he's ever since the first Chinchilla video, he was like, I'm pushing you. I'm gonna keep nudging you on Elements because it's not getting enough love and it's not getting enough praise. And why are people not talking about this one, man? Why? I'm with you, dude. Why are people not talking about this one? This is a lyric video? This is what I'm talking about, how some artists are just lazy. You know what I mean? All she did was do like some one take shit, like, and just did a bunch of those, right? Like, you know, it wasn't even a one take. It was just like a bunch of like, you know, all right, for this part of the song, we're gonna do like a little video part of it, and we're gonna transition to that, right? Just like a little simple stuff, right? For the lyric video. Some artists, this is all they'll do for the official music video. They'll just do that for the official music video. This was a lyric video. And she was like, it's not good enough. We got to put more emphasis on this because if you just hear it, it's not going to get the same. Now, every time I listen to this song, I'm going to think of her in this outfit. I'm going to think of her in that hat. I'm going to think of her in this, like, this just fire and fierce, like, atmosphere. Again, bro, I'm going to do it right now again. We're going to add this one to the playlist on here on screen. So that way there's no confusion about how Johnny feels about this, because Chinchilla's Elements is going to get posted in the gram. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, guys, if you don't already. If you're into that sort of thing. I keep hitting Chinchilla without spelling the actual song. Chinchilla, what was it called again? Elements. That's right. So fucking fire, man. I can't get over it. You guys, that's the thing is, like, you know, now that we've had a little bit of continuity on the channel and you guys have been around for a minute, I feel like you guys are really starting to learn my overall taste in music and the things that I look for and the things that I gravitate towards. So it's so cool for you guys to be like so right with your suggestions. And Salty Droog, man, I think I've listened to you a few times, and for this one specifically, I know I didn't get to it as quickly as I did, but honestly, I didn't go down the Chinchilla path in any of the way that I thought I was going to. So I feel like I'm still way behind on her in the fact of how much I love her, that I haven't done more of Chinchilla. So I just feel like I have a plethora of artists now where I'm having a hard time like making sure that I kind of hit them all like in the same week to try to keep people fed, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the warning. Let me go ahead and check this chat. But yes, man, Salty Droog, again, thank you so much for the suggestion. Thank you for the donation. And such a great damn song, dude. Such a great song. You were not lying about this at all, dude. Biggest benefit to signing is touring, a lot more pull with promoters. Yes, absolutely. There's a lot of benefits to being on a label and those kinds of things, but a lot of bands don't understand what the benefits are, and they don't work it to their advantage as much as they could, because a lot of times people are just young and they don't know any better, and they're signing up to try to, like, hopefully just play music on stage. Elements is fire. Yes, Rana apparently is already familiar with it, so I feel like I'm probably the last one in the group to be on board. Is my camera all fucked up? Okay, there we go. Oh, it's all fuzzy and shit. Why is it doing all that? Okay. Let's get it. Song's dope as fuck. Super fan of Haley, not the lyric. Okay. That's That's right. Lyric video. Oh yes, this one only has a lyric video. Johnny will like this. Great request, Salty. She makes all the hats. Yeah, that's what I was told. Is that she is the one who actually makes the hats, and she makes them all. So I was like, did she make this hat too? I'm like, I wonder if she made that dress. Like, her aesthetic, man, and she is like an artist that I would love to talk to her. I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to, but she's the kind of person that I would love to talk to somebody like her, because everything about her aura is like, I find it like exhilarating. Does that make sense? Like, she is all the fire and attitude that I really like in an artist. So yeah, I just find her very, very interesting and intriguing. This beat is hard as fuck. You're not lying, dude. She so hard. But yes, Maul. Hashtag Johnny's wrong. I always am. You know, that dude is always wrong about everything. She has in the Sony days open for Sting. I gotta be Linkin Park. Oh, all right, Lost Tate. Good to have fun at the Linkin Park show. That's awesome. You have a good time. Let me know how that is. Pixie, I still owe you a little bit of an explanation about Linkin Park and why I don't react to the new one, because I don't think you've heard my explanation of it yet. So I still got to kind of address that a little bit. Chilla's first name is Daisy. Oh, I love that. My my first dog that I ever had was, for me, was like my dog. I named her Daisy. So, special place in my heart. I love that name. That makes me like Chinchilla even more now. It does. That's the perfect name for her, to be honest. It is. I feel like that just fits her aura. Hashtag Johnny's camera is wrong. Yeah, somebody asked if he was on Instagram. I forget who asked you if you were on Instagram. She did a totally different interview with Chris Liepe. If you don't mind, yeah, not listening to New Linkin Park at Johnny Foxtrot, but yeah, can explain to me at some point anyway. Yeah, my history with my thoughts on the whole Linkin Park thing, basically to sum it up as simple as possible, is I loved Linkin Park and I loved Dead Sarah, but I don't like Dead Sarah like dismembering and now being a part of Linkin Park, if that makes sense. It's nothing against her. It's nothing against anything to do with her. It has nothing to do with the fact that I think that some of their new music sounds pretty decent, but Linkin Park is always going to be a band that Chester Benningfield was a part of. And anything time that I see that name and he's not there, it don't feel the same to me. So that's just how I personally feel about it. So there's a lot of people out there that, you know, I'll tease and say that they're lying to themselves about, you know, that the new stuff is good and all that kinds of stuff. But the new music isn't terrible. It's not bad. Like I said, I just can't see the names Linkin Park and see her up there without just feeling upset on the inside. Does that make sense? Like, and not in an angry way towards her. It's just like more or less like I'm just generally upset. You know what I mean? Because I'm still generally upset that he's gone. You know what I mean? So just even seeing seeing the band's name pop up, Linkin Park, sucks today. Does that make sense? The same way that we never saw Nirvana again. You know what I mean? That's why they're now the Foo Fighters. They had to go to be a whole different band. He had to start playing different instrument on stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, he couldn't run away far enough from Nirvana. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. Oh, Salty Drew, man, you got another request up in the book. Wait until you hear Trigger. It's a crime and it's not popular. You don't have to do it now. I don't want to hog tonight. So yeah, I will take that, man, and I will put that on the list, and I will get that for you probably in the next couple of days. Who else? I promised somebody else earlier that I was going to do one, didn't I? Is she on here still? Is Haley Reinhart fan on here still? Just wanted to make sure, continuing in some form, a name change would have been better. The choice of female lead was not. Yes, that's what I'm saying. They could have went and changed the band name, but that's the other flip side of the story where I feel like You're just trying to capitalize off of the success of the name because you would know that if you change that band name to anything else, you wouldn't be at the top of a marquee. Let's just put it that way. Even if it is the same guys and plus her, same entire band, you take Linkin Park off the marquee and you put Sub-Zero, whatever that other band name that they were talking about doing, you put that up there, ain't nobody coming to that. You ain't going to be at the top. You ain't going to be closing the night out with that name, and they know that. And that's what I don't like about it, is you're literally capitalizing off of the success of what is no longer around. I don't like that. I don't like that. I feel like it's disrespectful, and I feel like Mike should be ashamed of himself. But that's how I feel. That's how I feel. You know, if you don't feel that way, I'm happy that you don't feel that way. But as my personal fandom, I think it was a little... I don't like it. I don't like it. I just personally don't. I think Haley might have left. Haley Tusks. If she is gone, we're going to just go ahead and jump into your next one, man. Mike built the band before Chester, though. I understand. But did Mike have any other success outside of Linkin Park or anything that had nothing with Chester's name on it, though? That's more my question. How did Fort Minor do? How did every other venture that Mike Shinoda did do? Mike's been capitalizing off the back of Chester for the entire time. And that's no shot at Mike, but that's just the facts. That is just the facts. Whatever Chester has done, it was the success of this band. People aren't putting up videos days upon days upon days about Mike's lyrical content. They're putting up Chester videos. Just throwing it out there. No shade and no disrespect to Mike. I'm just calling it how I see it. Just calling it how I see it. It's what the facts are. I get it was Mike's band. Same way that Tom said that Blink-182 was his band. But he left it. When you know what I mean? Like, he left it and it kind of became Mark's band. You know what I mean? So just because you started it doesn't mean it's still yours. Does that make sense? Like, you know, and Mike has always been holding on to that. He always reminds people that he started the band. You know what I mean? I don't like that energy. I don't like the fact that you act that way about this. You know what I'm saying? I loved him for a long time. And then, like, he just started moving in a way where I'm like, I just don't know if I like you, dude. The way that you act and talk now, I feel like you're just lying to us. Even like the way he was trying to sell this record and like the new stuff coming out and the way he went about all that process, I did not think he handled it right. I think he did handle some stuff right, but at the end of the day, man, you didn't make me believe that you weren't doing this for a money grab. You know what I mean? I felt you were doing this for a money grab, and that's all I feel like you've been doing. You know what I mean? And I don't feel any differently with everything I'm seeing you do. And that's where I'll leave it. That's why I don't do Linkin Park stuff, because my opinion is not probably what anybody really wants to hear about it, because it's more of a negative one, and I don't like to put like the negativity out there in the world that way. But again, I do feel kind of strongly about it because I just do. And like I said, I've been trying to avoid talking it, but Pixie had asked a couple of times about, like, you know, why not Linkin Park, or what was the deal with Linkin Park. I wish them all the success in the world, though. I do. I don't want them to be terrible. I support all of my reactor friends that react to them, and I go and support their videos and all that, and I want them to have the success that they have. You know, it's just, to me, it's also really telling that when his son really doesn't like what they're doing. You know what I mean? And he's old enough to have been there and seen a lot. So his opinion means something to me because he was old enough to have one. So that's just the way I look at it. So I'm sorry if you guys hate me for my opinion on Linkin Park. It's no offense to Emily. I do wish her all the best. I loved her in Dead Sarah. I've seen her live, too. I thought she was great. I think that she is great in that terms. I don't care about all her Scientology stuff and all that kinds of shit. I don't give a fuck about any of that. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? I try to not judge people by the decisions they choose to base their faith and religions off and their faith off of. Does that make sense? Because I was religiously persecuted my entire life, so I would never ever persecute anybody else for their choices and what they believe. So I still get religiously persecuted. People still think that I don't assume things about me. So I feel very strongly about that. So I'm never going to tear anybody down for what they choose to believe in, you know, especially in terms of faith that way. You know what I mean? She is independent, and this was just released. All right, so we got 2 more requests lined up, so we're gonna get into both of them. We're gonna get into both of them. Johnny, Ron, you think you'll check out more Bridge City Sinners? I might, Maul, just for you. Steve, I got you, Steve. I got you. All right, so this is, what time is it? It's 12:23. It's late night. It's late night with Johnny Foxtrot. It is now a beautiful Friday morning here in here in Johnny Foxtrot world. We are going to get into, I think, all 4 of these, and that's what we're gonna wrap up for the day. We're gonna do all 4 of these songs, and then we're gonna call it. Steve, I owe you a Bollywood. Adiva, I'm gonna do yours. I'm still saying your name shitty. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And we're gonna start with Salty Droog. We're gonna get yours first. Then we are going to jump into Adiva's. Adiva. We'll jump into yours. And then Steve, we'll do your Bollywood, and then we will close with Maul. We're gonna close with you, my friend. We're gonna close with some Bridge City Sinners. You let me know which Bridge City Sinners song you would like me to check out, and I will do that. So let's go ahead and get it, and then we will wrap up for the evening. I'm so thankful for all you guys who are hanging out with me tonight.
All right, everyone.
I did not know, well, really how tonight was going to go. I did not know I was coming down here to record, and I was going to just see where things went. And you guys have put me in a lot better of just a headspace, I think, tonight, and I appreciate you for that. I'm finally getting over this headache, man. It's like I said, it's been like 2 days now. I had to take I'm gonna hit my vape, guys. Sorry if this isn't appropriate. I had to take like some actual Tylenol and stuff today, and so it's finally wearing off. Like, you know, I've just been drinking nothing but water for the last 2 days, and I knew I was dehydrated as hell. But I had to finally take some medicine, so the headache's finally gone. I'm finally feeling better. Finally feeling a little bit more like myself. And like I said, I've been feeling good, but the headache has just been holding me back today. So we got Trigger. Is this the very first one, or are we looking at like this live performance? Oh, that's rehearsals. Okay. I'm imagining it's probably gonna be this first one then. Headache gone. Yes, headache is gone. Trigger is audio only. The top link. One buckle up. Okay, bet. All right. We got a new hat. I like that. Like I said, man, she's so dope. She really is. She's sick. With the little Mickey Mouse looking ball thing on there. I think I got a Mickey Mouse ball ear. All right, let's go ahead and check out Trigger from Chinchilla. Let's get into another one. We was coming off one banger. We're probably jumping right into another one.
I can play dirty, I won't have no mercy. Drop a match on my white flag, burn it down, lay it on my grave. And I can play messy, I kinda like where it gets me. When I'm done, tie my hands and erase me. Add it to my accolades. In your brown eyes, did you see me crumple? Did you hear me cry? 'Cause I'm just fine, and you just lost your mind. I'll go pour a drink, babe, 'cause it's Friday. Done with thinking, just wanna party. It is up to you, we'll go figure. You're the sucker who pulled the trigger. Go pour a drink, babe, 'cause it's Friday. Got my best friend parked in my driveway. Gonna sit chill and juice and fuck with ya. Just remember who pulled the trigger.
she finds a way to make like country-esque music like fun and interesting to me. This like I feel I've realized in the last couple of years how much of an infatuation that parts of the world have with the idea of cowboys in America and like that time frame. And so like this is like the second song I've heard from her where it's got a very like Western, like riding down the middle of the street with like the spurs and the guns kind of feel to it. And like that's how I'm kind of picturing this video, is a lot like that first one I ever heard from her with Little Gone Girl. Like it kind of gives me that same kind of vibe. I feel like this is like Little Gone Girl's like second chapter 2. Does that make sense? It's like chapter 2 of that story.
I can be nasty, shoot you down on a back street, run the town, favorite blonde vigilante, blood on my guilty hands. But you're just not on my mind much. You see it right, I'm seeing lilac. I just wanna.
I also really like the fact that she like writes in a lot of like perspectives that like you don't hear a lot of like women write too, right? Like she'll say things like, I got the blood on my hands, and like I play dirty and I fight dirty and I do all these things where it's like very aggressive. You know what I mean? Like it's not often that you find like females writing like such aggressive like type of lyrics where like she really has like an overall writing style of like coming at it like, don't fuck with me. You know what I mean? Like she has like the most like the most like casual way of kind of like reminding you of that. Does that make sense? Like they, you know, there's a line that people have said and quoted from Lil Wayne for the longest time that says that real G's move in silence like lasagna, right? So the idea that like the truest and the hardest, most like toughened people, like criminals, gangsters, bad guys, whatever, all those kinds of people, when you watch those movies and you think about how like they're always these very like stiff and like quiet, reserved characters. And that's what Chinchilla gives me. She gives me all that like quiet and reservedness with all the claws, you know what I mean? With the Wolverine claws and all that, where she's like, you don't want to play with me because bad things are going to happen to you if they do. That's kind of how just the way that she gives that energy through her music is, I feel like I don't think it's matchable with other artists that I've come across. Does that make sense? That's where I feel like she is a cut above the rest in that aspect, where I've heard a lot of people, like guys included, right? Like, you know, everybody tries to play the tough guy shit. They all try to play that like, don't mess with me and I'm going to get you. Like, you know, but that's kind of how it comes across sometimes of like, don't play with me because I'm going to get you back there, mister. Like, yeah, we don't feel that. Nobody believes you. I believe Chinchilla, like 1000%. Every song, every time she tells you and every time she warns you, it sounds like a real warning. Does that make sense? Like, she is the one who does it. She's the one who knocks.
But you're just not on my mind much. You see it right, I'm seeing lilac. I just wanna lie low and live lavish, cause that wasn't part of your plan. But tell me in your brown eyes, did you see me crumble? Did you hear me cry? Cause I'm just fine, and you just lost your mind. I'll go pour a drink, man, cause it's Friday. Done with thinking, just wanna party. This looks to be who will go figure. Give us a go, pull the trigger. Go pour a drink, man, cause it's Friday. You're my best friend, parked in my driveway. While I sit gin and juice and fuck with you, just remember who pulled the trigger. And when I'm doing this, just know you passed on this. You were just drama, instant karma's got you, now you're dead. But who pulled the trigger? Pour a drink, man, cause it's Friday. Done with thinking, just wanna party. Baby, seems to be who will go figure. You're the sucker who pulled the trigger. Go pour a drink, man, cause it's Friday. You're my best friend, parked in my driveway. While I sit gin and juice and fuck with you, just remember who pulled the trigger.
that's what like made me think about. There's no everything that she does, like even when it's like something like this, where it's like it's not so much of like this, like really just like just uber moving piece, right? Where it's good, it's catchy, it flows well, it has like I said, it has this good energy about it, but it's like the last one was bigger, right? The last one was more like in your face, if you will, and this one is not as much in your face. It's more of that cool, calm, collected song, right? It's like a more of an easy listen that way, where it just sounds good. Where you're like, this is just good. It's good music, but the thing that she does again, against a lot of what other artists will do, is she takes the extra little effort to make it that much more with the simple stuff. You know what I mean? The way she ended it, where like I said, people think that like, and this is probably a huge, crazy, weird comparison to even bring this up, but if you're familiar with Nicki Minaj, I think that she's incredibly artistic, but she also does a lot of weird stuff in her music, right? So she'll rap, she'll do her thing, and then she'll do something at the end where she'll like just go like da 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 da, and she'll like just make noises and stuff with her voice. Some people hate that shit. Some people think it's the weirdest thing in the fucking world, and they think it's like so dumb. To me, it's artisticness. It's not always going to be the coolest thing in the world. It's not always going to sound like the coolest thing in the world, but it's like artistic expression. It's the fact that you're like, your brain has got like a million things that you would do with this sound. And that's where I feel like I get that from Chinchilla here at like the end. She's just playing around. There's more things that her brain's doing. So she's gonna like, I'm gonna just throw a little extra there and a little extra that, and just kind of throw it in a little spot, little sauce here at the end, just to do something extra, because that's the artistic mind being like, well, we have the room to do it, throw it in there. You know what I mean? Like, instead of just letting the beat ride out and just saying, pull the trigger a couple more times, we'll add a little like, woohoo, like type shit in there just to kind of give it that more extra little salt and pepper to make the soup that much more flavorful. Does that make sense? Even though this wasn't like that big in the banger face, it's still like executed perfectly. Does that make sense? Like, it's still like that great, easy. This is like, you know, track 4 on the record. Track 3 is normally the big jump, like that big in your face. Then you need that energy to shift down a little bit where we're kind of carrying it out. That's to me, this is like the next perfect song on that record. So I don't know where it really falls in an album or any kind of thing like that. Maybe it was just a single. I don't know. But that's how I think about it in terms of like when you would listen to a whole project, this album fits on there. Like, you know, I don't want to call it a B-side or be disrespectful that way, but it might be the easiest way for people to equate it in their brain as like more of a B-side, if it that not being the A radio big huge record. But this is another solid record that goes with the whole catalog. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have anthem after anthem after anthem. Like, you got to have some stuff that's going to be a little bit easier to listen to. And even this stuff is, like I said, next level, artistic as hell. She finds it to be ways to be interesting. And to me, like I said, I feel like this was like a continuation of like the idea of Little Gone Girl. Like, you know, we're back with the Western swing, we're back with the Western sound, and we're talking about shooting guns and pulling triggers and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that vibe is kind of like throughout this entire song. Oh, man, I think I ran out of breath with that one, guys. Oh, I think I said a lot. But thanks, Salty Droog. Thanks, man. Oh, my God. You added 2 more Chinchilla songs to my repertoire this week. So, like, there's more Chinchilla I can post about on my Instagram. There's more Chinchilla I can listen to now. That is one thing that sucks the most, guys, for any of you guys out there who are thinking about ever doing this and stuff, is like, you don't have to do it like me. You don't have to, but I feel like I'm somewhat of a masochist this way, where I'm like, I don't allow myself, like, if I trip over gold, I don't keep going. I can't do it. You know what I mean? Like, I would never have reactions to do. You know what I mean? So, like, if I find, depending on how I find it and whether or not I think I'd be able to react to it and be able to put it out there in the world. So, I have found to listen to you guys is probably the best way to go. But again, like I said, Ren, Chinchilla, now Ray, you know, I've only got a handful of songs from these artists that I'm like, that I know of. And I'm like, until I listen and react to it, I can't add it to the playlist. I can't do it. That's why I love it when y'all make references to songs I already know. So when you make references to like songs, like lyrics from High Ren, I know what you're talking about. Because I know that one, and I know that one well now. Oh boy. Again, I'm sorry guys, I'm a little out of breath here. I forgot to put my water. Oh, there's my water. It's over there. I only know her from Ren. Yeah, this is Big Alpha Energy. Cosmic Be Right Back. I honestly think my favorite Chinchilla song is Motherfucking Diamond. Yeah, I've been getting a lot from Motherfucking Diamond. I think that might have to be like the next one I just go ahead and record. Might have to be that one. She sounds a bit like Sia. I made that comparison as well. That she kind of has like the audible effect. Kind of reminds me of Sia a little bit as well. What I've known of Sia, I don't know a ton, but I've heard a few songs. You know, everybody's heard that Chandelier one. Everybody's heard that one. Johnny is right. I appreciate you, man. Okay, all right. Have you listened to them yet, Pixie? Okay, cool. You guys are having a conversation. We are going to jump into the next song. Let's see. Lacey Sturm Soldier. Okay, let's check that one out. We are going to get into Lacey Sturm and Soldier. Official music video, looks like. Okay, cool. Audiva's trying to... Audiva? I swear to God. I swear to God. I'm going to be able to spit that out easily one day. She swung for the fences pretty hard yesterday. What song was it? Oh, that Eminem cover. Oh, boy. Yeah, she knocked that request out of the park on the live stream on Wednesday night. Yeah, she killed that one. That Eminem cover was something special. All right. We are going to be checking out Lacey Sturm, and the song is called The Soldier. This is going to be my first time hearing anything from Lacey, so I'm very interested and excited to see what they have to offer. Let's go ahead and check it out.
You draw your line in the sand, so I'm crossing over again. You brag that you're a grenade, so I pull your pin and I wait. A time will come when your power is gone. Yeah, I might die today, but I'm gonna die anyway. I'm gonna stand my ground, even if they back down, 'cause I don't care what you say anymore. So what's your raise your voice? I'm screaming back my choice, 'cause I sure ain't scared of you anymore.
Okay, this one is fire too, man. I like her hair is super sick. I like her voice a lot. Her voice reminds me, at points in time, she reminded me of and again, I'm comparing everybody to each other. The girl from Flyleaf. I can't remember what her name is, but like there's only been one person in my entire life that I ever thought had a voice that sounded like that, and that was the Flyleaf girl. And this girl has that same thing about the way that she sings. And I only bring it up to say it's refreshing because I don't really feel like I've ever heard but these two vocalists that ever sounded like this. There's a few of them that have like similarities, but like this particular sound tone, like I said, it's almost uncanny how much she sounds just like her to me. Like I said, if I close my eyes, I would have swore it was her. You know what I mean? I would swear it was her. She is her? Oh my God. I saw it. That's why. Oh my God. Johnny was right. I can't believe it, guys. I can't believe it. I can't believe I got it right. Oh my God. I can't believe it. Like I said, such a unique voice. There could only be one. Johnny wasn't wrong for once. Oh my God, this is totally worth it. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. Oh my God, I love this. She sounds great. She sounds great. It sounds so, like I said, it's refreshing to hear her voice. It is. It's so nice to hear her sing again.
What's a life without a cause? What's the point of drawing straws? They say that I am a fool, but I'll do what I have to do. Oh, a time will come when this war is won. Yeah, I might die today, but I'm gonna die anyway. I'm gonna stand my ground, even if they back down. 'Cause I don't care what you say anymore. So watch you raise your voice, I'm screaming back my choice. 'Cause I sure ain't scared of you anymore. I've seen a dying man pleading for one more chance, only to fade to black, and that's when I'm going
Oh boy, we have to go back and listen to that one more time because, like I said, oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I thought somebody had said that she was out there like making music still, or that she was doing something, or she was solo, or I don't know. I just haven't seen anything and heard anything from her in the longest time. All this when we were young stuff has been happening lately, and I'm like, you know what would really sell out is if they had Flyleaf when we were young, because there is a whole group of people out there that it's almost like, oh, what was that show called? Firefly, the sci-fi show. Like, if you know, you know. If you watched it, you're like, fuck yeah. That's kind of how the Flyleaf album was, where it's like, if you heard it and you were in it, you were like, yo, that's the shit right there. You know what I mean? The only people that didn't like that Flyleaf record were people who didn't want to hear the girls sing. And as you can tell, guys, I've always liked to hear the girls sing because they provide stuff that the guys don't. Like this scream. You know what I mean? Like, no guy sounds like this dude, like this. No guy sounds like this. Oh man. Thank you guys. Thank you, Adiva. Thank you, Adiva. That was so great. Thank you so much for putting her back into my life. You know, this is probably old stuff. She probably don't even make music anymore. I'm probably behind all of it, but you have brought her back to my world, and there's a whole side of her catalog that I probably don't even know now that I am so very excited to now get into. So thank you so much for that request. Let's go back. Hold on. I'm sorry. I haven't been doing this all night. We haven't been getting no love. One of the most underrated singers of our generation. You ain't lying. 6 years ago, 1 year ago. By far one of the best voices. Yep. Is she still be doing stuff? Let's subscribe anyway. I don't know if she's doing anything or not, but we're going to subscribe. Let's see. Zip up jackets. Johnny's wrong on the outside, and you can unzip and it says Johnny's right on the inside. That's what you gotta do. You just gotta get the reversible t-shirt, you know what I mean, or whatever, you know what I mean, like a reversible outer coat. That way, like it could be like either side. Oh man, that was awesome. Thanks again for that suggestion there, my friend. I definitely appreciated it. And then I think the last one, oh yeah, we got it. We got two more left, right? We got which one you want to do, Steve? Which one were you wanting to do? What should I search here, or should I just go try to find one of the videos in the Discord? This song is to her ex-husband. Ah, okay. Yeah, fuck that dude. Let's see. Dana Dan with CC's. Okay. Indian folk metal. Okay, yeah, this looks familiar. Closed captions on. Okay. All right. Bloody Wood by Dana Dan. We're going to check out some Indian folk metal for the first time. This is going to be a first time completely for me when it comes to Indian folk metal. Steve has been trying real hard to get me on this, so we're going to finally check it out for him today. Let's go ahead and do it.
I put a fist to the face of a rapist, and yeah, I take this for the viewing pleasure of the nameless faces he disgraces. And yeah, one day I may change his kind with my mind, but I won't bow to the beast, never make peace at feast. Only if you're gonna let it eat to the white beat, I'm gonna beat another beat. I'm gonna get the home in the seat. Dead beat, delete, going off like a time bomb. White heat, trickle out like a python, bonafide on my side. Then we're gonna ride on up into your mind, and then we're gonna take it, beat to the hammer. Take it with your hands up, begin to shop. Take it, take it, take it, with it, but I think it's a jacket, but the ass and off. I don't care.
Oh my god, I'm not laughing at the music at all. What I'm laughing at is the fact that the closed captions can't keep up with how fast they're talking. Ah, man, that's too great. Like, you know, homeboy's going, he's going too fast. I do love me a rap screamer. So like I am a fan of a guy who comes in with the rah, and he be rapping with it. Like, I don't know what the hell he said because I was not prepared. I was looking to read and nothing showed up. They're like, nah, he was too fast for this one. I couldn't understand what he was saying. I have to say, honestly, I did not know that this was going to sound like this, like, at all. Like, this shit is rocking, bro. This shit is rocking pretty hard, too. Like, I didn't know that they'd be making music like this over there, man. Like, when I hear Indian folk metal, my mind still did not go to this sound. I don't know where the idea of folk comes into this, other than maybe the idea of maybe what the lyrical content is more or less about. Like, because he started off real quick with being like, I would, you know, punch a rapist or whatever he said, like real quick in the face. They give you like all the little things in the beginning about like, we're talking about some serious subjects here, and excuse me. And I kind of understood that, like, you know, it seemed like we were kind of going in that kind of path and direction of like, okay, we're gonna go here and talk on some rather serious topics. But my mind rapping folk metal was not. This is not what I thought when I heard folk metal. This sounds just pretty core-ish to me. It sounds like a lot of core. It's a lot of punch in your face energy. I dig it. I dig it because, like I said, this is like very much just like core energy. I'm not getting the folkness out of it, other than maybe what they consider to be the lyrical content here. This is their heaviest track, but yeah, you were heaviest even. Okay, the harsh singer is singing in Punjabi. That makes sense as well. I thought that he was probably singing in a language I didn't understand.
Consent, baby, get with it again. God got you in my sights, motherfucker, it's a headshot. You up on the spot and you saw the rod, yeah. No man, yes, all man, need all man for what we saw. Man can't be when it's been away. Well, then you see for yourself to get involved in talking all in, do more points of war. Kids on today, we leave it raw. Bloody galore, we clean up the core, yeah, we do it for her too. It's anarchy up in the patriarchy, and we love it. We done asking Nazi, so now we're here to hug it. No man and no woman, it's the people that are running. Listen for that engine, cause now we gon' be gunning. I think it's a good idea to hear about. Take out your hands up again, it's up. Take it, but I think it's up, niggas up, took it, but I think it's a jacket, but I think it's a top. La don't get moved out, gamma. La make good day, that gang got that.
With that music in the background, like that's like that's to me tied in like that sound that I was probably kind of looking for to be somewhere in here. Like that's tying that in for me. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there for a minute because there's a couple things I don't want to forget to talk about. One, that little chorus, like I'm not gonna die, I'm not gonna die, you're not gonna die, you're not gonna die. That whole thing, like when you think about it in terms of like, all right, let's sit down and let's write this chorus, right? And like, what should we write? And when they were coming up with like, we should just say like you're not gonna die a bunch of times. Like to me in the writing room, that sounds so stupid. Until you hear how they incorporate it, and I was like, it's kind of fire though, because like by the second time they came around to that, I'm like in the audience, be like, you're not gonna die, you're not gonna die. Like that shit is hard. Like it does work, even though it's just simple and it's repeating itself over and over again. That shit does work, and it is hard, man. And the way that they like kind of tie in to like this part where it kind of like gets really melodic while they're still kind of carrying that rip out at the end, like this kind of like this transition here towards the end. This is like sonically, love this.
Yeah, now if you're straight, time to turn back and run with the pack. It's time to fight, yeah, we got the ammo to stack. Fuck every man for himself, it's every man for every man and everybody else, everybody else. I raise a fist for the nameless faces. He disgraces, raise a fist for the nameless faces. He disgraces, and yeah, one day I may change his kind with my mind. One day I may change his kind with my mind. Raise a fist for the nameless faces. He disgraces, raise a fist for the nameless faces. He disgraces, and yeah, one day I may change his kind with my mind. One day I may change his kind, but until then.
Oh my God, that shit was fire. His little part there at the end, like, oh man, this gave me like some like overall like just like thought processes of like, what he said about just like some thought provoking material. I think where he said about like, fuck every man for himself. It's every man for every man. I feel like that opens the door for a whole conversation of things that we could go and probably talk on for like an hour with that idea. But again, just another good reminder to remember that we can't only just look out for ourselves. We have to look out for one another. That's why I think that the world as is chaotic as it has always been is why we are in the position that we are in now in the universe, is because we have been in a constant state of trying to only take care of ourselves and not take care of humanity. And I'm always going to love the idea of messaging of like, you got to take care of yourself, but once you got yourself taken care of, start taking care of everybody else. Does that make sense? And even in a song like this, they gave us another reminder of that, where it's just like, you know, we got here because people were selfish. You know what I mean? And, you know, if we're ever going to make more progress in the world, we have to learn how to be a little less selfish and be a little bit more caring for other people at the end of the day. So thank you, Steve, for pushing and pushing and pushing. Again, did not think that this Indian folk metal song was going to go in this direction, but it was good, man. It was another good one. I'm gonna have to add this one to my playlist for sure, because I did like this one too, because this was definitely going to go in my heavy metal bag, because this it definitely has it sounds so good, dude. It sounds so good. I'll have to look up the lyrics and stuff like that to kind of get what he was saying, but in terms of just like what I heard, awesome. Visual was great too. Cool video. Really loved his like no flag shirt. That shit was pretty hard. I like that. Alex Terrible, lead singer of Slaughter, is a pretty cool guy. Bring the beat down, deep, Dan. I love heavy vocals. My husband hates it. Reminds me of Static X. Not sure about Static X. All right, Mal, did you find a song that you would like to do for our closer this evening? I'm going to scroll through your requests, through your messages here to see if you got one. I don't think I see one here. I plan on requesting his cover of All I Want for Christmas to a reactor that hates that type of music. That's funny. I will kindly send anybody's money back to them who asks me to do any kind of All I Want for Christmas Is You reactions. I can't stand that fucking song. I can't. I hate it. I don't care who sings it. I hate it. Retail environment ruined that song for me forever. I can't do it. That and my desk mate in the military. I'll never forget her. She loved that song, man, and she played it a lot. And I sat right next to her, so I heard it a lot. And then I went and just heard it everywhere I was, man. All Christmas long. All right, so we're going to get into our final request of the evening. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me on, late night with Johnny Foxtrot. We are going to be getting into another song from Bridge City Sinners. It's been a while since I've gotten into a song from them. And we're going to check out their song, The Legend of Olag High, Parts 1 and 2, live. So let's go ahead and check it out.
Here in the forest, it's cold up here in the trees. It's cold way up on the mountain, among stone
she kind of smoked that vocal little section right there too. Like even when she kind of came in with that scream at the end, she overall just smoked that section. One of the things that I found kind of interesting with like the first song I listened to them, and I'm kind of seeing that a lot in this song as well, is I'm like I think I've mentioned this a few times before about like where I feel like some songwriters, they have ability to basically make when you're listening to their song, it sounds like you're reading a book. You know what I mean? Like they're giving you so much visual with the story that they're painting through the song, and that's what I kind of get from like their overall music is like I'm seeing the living color pictures in my mind, like as I listen to what she says, and we go on the journey throughout the song. Homeboy might be taking it a little too far though with his stage presence. My man like is almost like he's barefoot and shirtless on the stage. Like, you know, where are his clothes? I don't think I've seen a man have that little of clothes on a stage before. He, like I said, might be taking it a step a little too far. If you go take the shirt off, you gotta at least put on full pants.
Up on the mountain. Don't go up to the trees. Don't walk around in the forest. They find you up here, the rivers will.
Yo, who's doing the growl scream in the background? Which because it's not her. She's doing that high pitched shit, but somebody in the background's going nowhere to run. Somebody's doing it. Somebody like again killing the vocal sections on this live shit.
The monster within meets the monster outside. Beware of the legend, what will the wrong way? They come from the shadows and no way we're here in the ground.
She sounds like the witch in the story. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that she screams that song, that part of the song. Like she sounds like the witch in the forest that's like chasing the kids. You know what I mean? Like there's no one. Like you know the way she's doing it, just like I said, she almost like paints like the story picture, like you know of the book, like with the way that she sings in her voice. It's just unique that way. and the crowd are pretty into this for what this is. Like, this to me reminds me of more like folk style music, and the crowd is moving more in this song than I've seen at like the last few like live shows I've watched, like performances.
You're so cool.
Another one, man. Another one where I don't really have much to say other than the fact that, like, another journey. You know, that was another one that took me on a journey. Again, reminded me of everything that we kind of mentioned before about, like, it's like reading a book in a musical form. 1000%. I got a little distracted by Homeboy with his with that hat and him being shirtless and all that with no shoes. Like I said, he just got he's too naked on the stage. It's one thing if you want to be barefoot and all that kind of stuff, but man, you got like the jeans rolled up and shirt off, hat on, sunglass shades. You just might be a little bit too naked on that stage, bro. Just a little bit too much. But I think that the last thing I'll probably say about that song is I think that, like, the way that she screams, man, she did it in the other song too, where she has like a very uniqueness to the way that she kind of like does that harsh vocal, and she kills it live. She really does. The other guy, he sounds pretty good for what he was going for, but at the same time, she just blows him away when it comes to the overall screaming aspect, where every time he did his thing, I was like, just don't even do it until she's going to be doing it too. Because it sounds better when they're both doing it, because it adds like two vocal layers of like the harsh vocals. He's doing the deep growl while she's doing the high pitch thing. And it sounds really great when they're both doing it. But every time she was just singing and he was like, yo, like in the background, it was like, it sounds better together. But overall, really cool performance, really great song. Like I said, it gave me like the idea of the feeling of like kind of like reading a book, if you will, and going on a journey. I was like I was in the woods in that cold winter. You know what I mean? It's kind of how I felt. And I feel like I watched an episode listening to this. So very, very great song. Thank you so much, Maul, for that suggestion. I appreciate you for getting me back on some Bridge City Sinners. I gave my friends some shit because they're from Portland. I gave him some shit when I came across him and like, how come you keep hiding all these Portland bands from me, bro? Why don't you tell me about all the heat that's coming out of Portland? There's a lot more banders on modern music than I expected, because the day and age of the hipster has come and gone. That's when everybody decided that they were going to go like learn how to play harmonicas and flutes and all kinds of random stuff like banjos. So yeah, I think that a lot of those instruments will live on. And you're seeing even like some of those instruments like make their way into like overall like just like rock bands in general. So people are trying a lot of things to try to get them, I think, to stand out and be unique that way. All right, guys. Well, love harmonica when done right. Yeah, harmonica is another one of those great ones where I'm like, I don't want to listen to an entire song of it, but when you add it in there, you know what I mean? It can be great. Somebody mentioned earlier and asked me how I felt about. I think it was on the Discord. I could answer that on the Discord. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I do appreciate